Welcome back to part 2 of the 24 and 16 series, 24 transactions in my first 16 months as a real estate agent. In this video, I'm going to talk about exactly where I got all of my leads from. Let's do it. My name is Sean Slaughter, real estate agent and investor, and today I want to talk about the one thing that every real estate agent has a hard time dealing with. It's the main thing that's always on our minds. Where do we get our leads from? Well, today I want to break some of the myths and I want to show you exactly where I got my leads from. Before I get started, a few things that I want to cover. There were a few things that I did that I got 0 leads. And I'm not saying that these things won't work for you, but they did not work for me, so I don't put much time into them. Cold calling. I cold called quite a bit my first couple of months of doing real estate, and I got to talk to some people. I got cursed out. I got called evil. That's fine. It's part of the cold calling thing, but it didn't work for me. I didn't get any leads. So that's one thing that didn't work. Another thing was farming. I sent out postcards. I sent out yellow letters. I sent them out to my neighborhood and farmed it for a few months. I would send out postcards to listings that I had and, to the surrounding neighborhood of listings that I had. And again, did that for probably about a year. No response. And I think for me, a lot of times those things don't work because they're impersonal. I get yellow letters to my home. There's a guy that actually sends letters out. He shows you all of the homes that have sold in the neighborhood and the price they've sold for, and he says, hey, give me a call. I can, let you know what your house will sell for and all that type stuff. And I do what most people do, throw them in the trash. As far as cold calling, I hate people calling my cell phone and, you pick the phone up and there's that little 2 seconds of silence to where you know that it's like a telemarketer or something like that. I can't stand that. And it is a very, very difficult way to start a relationship because you start that relationship off as a salesman. And that's the one thing that I don't want to be seen as a realtor. I don't want to be seen as a salesman, even though I am selling. I want to be seen as relational. I want to be seen as a problem solver. I want to be seen as a resource, not a salesman. So let's get into it. Here are the ways that I got my leads. So these numbers are 16 months, 12 months in 2021, and then 4 months in 2020. This is the whole period when I first got my license. First, I had 7 personal leads. Now, these were people that knew me. And it's funny because my very first transaction was because I posted on Facebook, hey, I just got my license. Then I got a call from a friend that said, well, we're looking to sell our home and we're looking to buy a home. That was my first 2 transactions. And that really came from an online post. The rest of the 5 worked really the same way. I began posting online, putting things online that I do real estate and so on and so forth. And my friends would literally tell me, I forgot you got your license until I saw it online. Or I forgot you got your license until your wife reposted this. And so 7 of those personal leads really came because I was posting online and my friends remembered that I did real estate. Next, I had 4 referrals. These are referrals from people that I was doing a transaction with and referred me to another client. Or out of those 4 referrals, one of them was from a listing. My very first listing, I had a lady call me because she saw my listing and she called the number and she said, I want that house. And I said, well, it's already in the contract. And we began searching for a home for her. And we found a home for her, a short sale. She was also my very first short sale. She was my second transaction. My second transaction was a short sale. So that's 7 personal and 4 referral. You can kind of call them all personal because referrals are wonderful. And my goal really for 2020 is to increase my referrals because when referrals come to you, they come to you with trust. They're ready to go. They're ready to start. You don't have to build the trust like you have to with a cold lead or with somebody that does not know you. And so those 12, that was my biggest number out of the 24. Next, I had 6 company leads. Now, I'm with Realty One Group, and just to tell you how our brokerage works, it is 100% brokerage. So when I bring leads in, I get 100% of my money. When my broker gives me leads, he takes 50% of my money. We pay a monthly fee, and that's pretty much it. So I like it. I personally, because I've been in business for years, I don't need a lot of hand holding. Like I told you before, what I really needed was a mentor. And that mentor really helped me, but I understand how to organize a business, how to set up business systems and processes, and how to be consistent every single day with a business. So that wasn't the hard part for me. So 6 of those leads was Realty One Group leads. In my first year, when I closed 5 transactions, one of those leads was a company lead. And honestly, they actually gave me, out of those 6 leads, 1 lead was actually 3 leads in one. It was a family where I sold their home and I sold grandma's home, and then I helped them purchase a home for all of them to live in. All right. So I don't take many company leads because I don't like 50% of my money getting cut. But if things are slow and I'm doing, what I do to try to get leads, and it seems like it's not working, I might say, hey, throw me a lead. But I like keeping most of my money. Next, I'm going to mention the hated Zillow. All right. I do advertising on Zillow. I'm a premier agent. And so many people hate Zillow. So many people do not like Zillow. And for good reason. All right. Zillow is, they're trying to replace realtors. And as many of you can see with the last effort that they made that failed, where they tried to basically do these iBuyer things, you can't replace the relationship that a real estate agent has with a buyer or a seller. You also cannot underestimate understanding the city or the town you're in. This is why a lot of times I tell my buyers to use a local lender instead of using some big commercial lender. Because the local lender, because they're local, they're more nimble, they understand the local market, and they really can provide better customer service than some big commercial company brand. Nevertheless, with Zillow, I had 6 transactions that closed from Zillow leads, okay? And just to show you why I believe in Zillow, I don't spend a whole bunch of money on Zillow, about $500 a month, but on the $6,000 that I spent on Zillow, I made $43,467. All right. I spent $6,000. I made $43,000 using Zillow. As a matter of fact, one of those leads was a 400, and maybe 2 of those leads were $460,000 properties, where my commission was between $11,000 and $12,000. And so that half of that commission paid for the whole year for itself. The key to Zillow is getting the right zip code. That's the hardest thing. Okay. And I actually had to move the zip code around because I was getting a lot of trash leads in the very beginning with Zillow, which can happen. I mean, it's kind of a crapshoot. And once I hit the right zip code, man, the leads were really, really gold. Doesn't mean I still don't get trash leads. But again, if I can close a small percentage of that, one transaction will take care of a whole year of Zillow. And I think it's worth it. It's not something that I totally lead on as far as lead generation, but it is one of the tools in the toolbox. And lastly, the very last transaction was myself. I bought a home. One of the most beautiful things as a real estate agent is that you can buy a home and you can get paid to buy a home, because I was my own agent. So I got a commission for buying my own home. It was a beautiful thing. All right. So that's where my 24 transactions came from. Hopefully you learned something. The thing that I really want to grow is my personal and referrals. I really don't want to depend on too much of my brokerage's leads. I don't want to depend on too many Zillow leads. I really want to build a referral business. So for me, that's really where a lot of my time and energy is going to be spent in 2022. How can I let a lot of my own network know that I do real estate so they can trust me in doing real estate? And how can I get them to refer me to those that may be looking for a realtor, whether it's to buy or sell a home or just a resource to ask questions? Hopefully that helps. Please like, subscribe, karate chop that bell. Hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in. This is the House of Motivation, the place where inspiration lives. Peace.